Hi, my name is JP Sarmiento from the Sarmiento Immigration Law Firm. So, what are some sample marriage based green card interview questions for I130s, Stokes interviews, I130 485s? It varies in every office, it varies in every situation. Some are separated, some are interviewed at the same time, but typically they center around a couple of common themes. The first one is the meeting. When did you meet? Where did you meet? How did you meet? And then a lot of questions can revolve around that topic. Follow-up questions. Did you date afterwards? What movie did you watch afterwards? Did you go out again afterwards? How soon? How soon did you talk to each other over the phone? If someone introduced you to each other, what's the name of the person? If you met each other through a website, what's the name of the website? Things like that. So that's the meeting. Okay. The second one is the proposal. How did you decide on getting married? Did he propose to you? Did he buy a ring for you? Where did he propose? If there was a proposal, or did you just discuss it? Did you just talk about it? If it was at a restaurant, what restaurant? Do you remember what you ordered? If it was a hotel, remember where? If it was a house, what was the occasion? Was anyone else there? What part of date it was? Was it early in the evening, late at night? After a date, things like that. So that's the proposal category. I want to call it. The third one is the marriage itself. Now you could have gotten married in court, or you had a celebration after a mass in church, or some traditional ceremony. But that's usually a question that's asked. How many people was in the reception? Where was the reception held? If you got married in court, who was with you? Were there any relatives with you or friends? Who were they? What did you guys do afterwards? Did you eat out, or just went straight at home? So a lot of questions would be asked about the marriage part of it also. If there was a reception held, the planning process, but usually like the number of people, those things are always asked. And then it just varies from here on. Family is usually asked. It's another category. Have you met his or her parents? Have you met his or her brothers and sisters? What are their names? When was the last time you met him, her? What was the occasion? Have you spoken, let's say the parents abroad, have you spoken with him or her through Skype or through any other, maybe FaceTime? So that's also another question asked. If it's a step, if your spouse had kids before, questions would be asked about that. What are their names? How old are they? Do you know which schools they go to? Especially if they live with you. When was the last time you saw him or her? What was the occasion? So, that's the family category, I want to call it. Now another category is the the holiday category. What did you do last Christmas? Did you do things together? What did you do for New Year's or Thanksgiving? My kind of rule of thumb is, you look at the interview date and go, one or two major holidays before that. So let's say it's January, you go either New Year's or Christmas, or New Year's, Christmas, and Thanksgiving, to be sure. Remember what you guys did during that time. Another category is things done recently. How did you guys get here? What did you guys eat last night? Where were you last night? What did you guys do last weekend? And things like that. And then there's a lot of questions also on the category called, I call like residence and employment. So let's say, your spouse works. Some officers would want you to know how does he get to work? Does he take a subway? Which station? Does he drive? What time does he leave? He or she leaves. What's the salary of your spouse? What position? What's the address? What's the name of the company? Since when? They would also ask about certain things about your residence. Typically, the first question is it an apartment or a house? And then questions about that. Some are really specific, like color of the bathroom wall or something. But typically, how many rooms? How many bedrooms? How many bathrooms? What's the year of the house? If it's a rental, how much is the rent? Who pays the rent? What does it include? If it's a house, about how old is the house? And things like that. Now, if you submit documentation in support of your bona fide marriage, and you submit pictures, they typically like pictures that has friends and family with them, not just pictures of you and your spouse in one event and just two of you, like 6 pictures. They don't like that. That probably would even hurt. If you're gonna submit bank statements, for example, and you just open it last week with actually no debits and credits, that might even hurt. It's better not to submit and just tell the truth why you weren't able to open one. Because some probably have like separate accounts already, and they just decided not to. I mean, that's fine. Just tell the truth. For example, it's a house and you don't have a joint lease or joint mortgage, and the reason is because you already own it before he or she came to your life. Then that's fine. Tell the truth. If it's bona fide, it's bona fide, and you go with it. Okay. And then there's other miscellaneous questions that I've experienced listening to in interviews I've been to. Sometimes they ask for what tattoos does he or she have, things like that. What criminal records does your spouse have? When was your spouse caught, and placed in removal proceedings, if he or she was? When was the last time he or she went to the hospital? Things like that. So there's a lot of broad areas, meeting, the wedding, the proposal, family, residence, employment, and a lot of recent events, holidays, and a lot of kind of specific questions. But ultimately, you guys have to be prepared with as much detail as possible. Bona fide relationship, should be approved. And if you prepare well and kind of know what the topics are, ahead of time, just kind of brush up, you should be fine. If you have any questions, feel free to give us a call. Free consultations with a Sarmiento Immigration Law Firm. My name is JP Sarmiento. Our website is www.sarmientoimmigration.com, and our phone number is 216-573-3712. So thank you for listening, and hope you picked up something from it. Thank you.